Hello my friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And this is the first of 3 videos that I have batch recorded for you guys. Actually, it's the 3rd video I'm recording, but it's the first one that you're going to see. And these are my monthly pickups. It's the Blu-rays, 4Ks, some Steelbooks, and what else? Oh, some t-shirts. So I'm going to show you that first. My second video that I'm going to put out is the my Arrow pickups, because Arrow has been releasing some amazing box sets and some standalone releases. And there's been a Zavvi buy one get one free sale that went on, so I'll show you what I got from that. And then the 3rd video is going to be my Criterion Barnes & Noble 50% off pickups, the sale, which is still going on in store and online. And at that time I'll talk about 3 or 4 Criterions that I've watched over the last month or so while I've been on hiatus and hanging out with friends and visiting with people, visiting with family, friends. It's that crazy time of the year when we all start to run around like lunatics. So I apologize for being MIA, but I'm back. Here I am, and we're going to start with some t-shirts. These are from Fright Rags, and these are the Krampus t-shirts. So they're fun for the holiday season if you're into Krampus. And I did check before I started the video, and all these are still available. This first one, which is just the standard Krampus one, this is the only one that's kind of limited. I think it's available in smalls, extra large, and 3X, but like I told you with Fright Rags, you always want to order one size up because they do shrink quite a bit in the dryer. This second one is called, I think it's called Krampus Comic Book. It's pretty cool. I like this one. And this one is still available in all sizes. And as is this one called Krampus Minions. It's a red one, a little different. Fun for the holidays though. It's got that wild gingerbread man in there. But all these, like I said, they're all still available. Some of them are a little mixed with the sizes. And they also just released, I want to say in the last day or two, a Shaun of the Dead line. I haven't gotten anything from it. But if you're into Shaun of the Dead, definitely check it out. I'm going to leave the link in the description for Fright Rags. As I said before, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I'm not being paid. It's just that you guys seem to like the t-shirts, so I figure as things come in, I would share them with you. So that's what I got recently from them. I'm out of breath from standing up and down. I should work out more. These first 2 Steelbooks were sent over to me from Mill Creek Entertainment, so I want to thank them for sending them over. And it is Series 1 and Series 2 of Ultraman. The first one is called Ultra Q. Comes in a nice slipcase. It's got Ultra Q on the front, and then it has the description on the back. And the people who worked on this are the people who did Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra, so you can expect that type of vibe from it. It's kind of like Japanese Power Rangers with monsters, if you will. I haven't watched them all yet, but I'm going to sit down and watch them from beginning to end. And there's also a Series 3 and 4 coming out, I believe, in February. And we have 8 Blu-rays inside. They're stacked up. That's my only beef with this. It's a beautiful release. Beautiful Steelbooks. They run the red, keep the red theme going around the top and the sides and all that. I would have preferred to see a swing tray in here. And I know Blu-rays don't scratch as much as DVDs. DVDs are pretty fragile that way. But I'm just neurotic. So that would be my only minor beef with this, is I wish they would, stick with the swing tray on the, instead of stacking the discs up. And it comes with a nice episode guide. And you can see what each episode is. And it's a really nice booklet that they include. And the same thing, Ultraman is pretty much, he is the protector of the universe, apparently. That's what it says. And same thing, it's got the nice clear slip. I mean, these are nice. They're really heavy. These are even nicer than Scream Factory or Arrow. Any of the Steelbooks that I've gotten, these are nice quality. Nice heavy duty. You have Ultraman on the front there. I hope I didn't say Iron Man. Was I saying Iron Man? It's Ultraman. And there it is, front, back, and spine. Same thing. The discs there piled up again. Same thing. I would have preferred the swing tray, but hey, we got what we got. It's awesome. Same thing with the nice clear slip to protect the Steelbook from getting scratched. And then it's an Ultraman information and episode guide. And same thing. Oh, you have color pictures inside this one. So there's that, and I will keep you posted on Series 3 and Series 4 when they come out. I'll also let you know once I go through all those what I think of them. I want to thank Mill Creek as always for sending them over and continuing to keep me on their mailing list. I kind of fell through the cracks a little bit, but they got me back on the mailing list. This next one, I picked up on my own. It's also a Mill Creek title, and it is the prequel to The Thing. So they just put this one out. I haven't watched it yet. They said it's from the producers of Dawn of the Dead, so I don't know. Supposedly it takes place before The Thing, and I'll check it out and let you guys know. And then I got a Steelbook from Zavvi. I know, I'm cutting back on the Steelbooks, but this one, I have no Steelbooks of this. It is Friday the 13th, the 1980 version. Now, Best Buy put out a Steelbook. I wasn't crazy about the artwork. They put out a Friday the 13th Steelbook. They said it was a 1981 version. It was not. It was the remake. So thank goodness I didn't buy that. You have the dock scene on the back. Here's our front, back, and spine. And this is still available on Zavvi, and it's reasonable. Zavvi's actually having some good sales right now, so check them out. And then you have your interior artwork, which is always a plus. And you just have your standard blue Blu-ray. So that's the Friday the 13th Steelbook from Zavvi. Now, this is a Scream Factory Steelbook that I didn't know was a Steelbook. It looked like it was a slipcover, which is actually what I wanted, but now that I see it, it's nice. I mean, I'm happy I got it. I just love the movie, but they don't have just the slipcover version. It is the 40th anniversary edition of Rock and Roll High School, and if you like the Ramones, you'll love this movie. And then you have your back. And it's cool. It's got nice artwork. It has nice disc art, which is very similar to the front. The artwork in the front. And then you have a little bit of interior artwork as well. So those are my Steelbooks and my Mill Creek and all that good stuff. And then I have one DVD. Yes, I have a DVD. And I don't know why more people are not talking about this. I can't believe I'm not seeing more people talking about this. Maybe because it's November and this is a Halloween movie. But this one was a straight-to-video release. It was sold out in stores. It was sold out online. When I ordered mine, it was on back order. And I heard a lot of hype before it came out, and then I haven't heard anything about it. But it's Haunt. And look at that cover. Creepy. And look at the back. Totally creepy. Now this one absolutely exceeded my expectations. I really had managed expectations for this. You hear straight to video, DVD only release. You're thinking, all right, low budget, whatever. Basically what it is, it's a really basic premise. You have a group of college kids that go to a haunt that pops up during Halloween that they're handing, people are handing flyers out for. They get into the haunt. Horrible things start to happen because there's sadistic people running the haunt. And it becomes a fight for survival. So it's not something we haven't seen before, but done really well. A lot of suspense, a lot of tension, a lot of anxiety-inducing moments, good gore, good effects. I really enjoyed it. This is one that will definitely be on my watch list for every Halloween. And like I said, I had managed expectations going into it thinking, you know, it's going to be a low budget, you know, the whole deal. Really, really good, really exceeded my expectations, and I had a lot of fun with it, so I would definitely recommend picking up Haunt for, you know, for Halloween time. It's fun. Then now we're going to get into the 4Ks, and this first one, this transfer and the Dolby Atmos track blew me away. It's Dario Argento's Suspiria, and if you've seen the movie, you understand the front artwork. I don't know if that's the best choice for the front artwork. What do you guys think? I don't know. Anyway, this looks amazing. It sounds amazing. If you're a fan of Suspiria, definitely look into this. It's put out by Synapse. They had actually put out a Blu-ray of the movie a few years ago, which looked great and it sounded great, but now they did the 4K release. And my only issue with this is the price point is, I've seen it as low as I think $37 and as high as maybe $41. US dollars. This is not a booklet that goes with it. It's just a booklet of Synapse titles that are released. It comes with a 4K disc, and then a Blu-ray disc, but the Blu-ray disc is not a Blu-ray movie. It's just a disc of special features. So you're paying upwards of, let's just round it out to $40 US, and all you're getting is one 4K disc. You're not getting a digital copy, you're not getting a booklet, you're not getting a Blu-ray. So if you are a person who buys 4K releases and you don't have 4K capability yet, because you know it comes with a Blu-ray, you might want to hold off on this until maybe a price drop or until you get 4K capability. Also, I kind of have a little beef with that price point if you're only going to give us a 4K. I understand they're a smaller company, it's more of a boutique label, but still, that's a lot of change for one movie. But it looks good and it sounds good, and you know, look at me, I bought it, so who am I to talk? And this next one it's a classic, it's an awesome movie, and it's never looked better. It sounds great, the Atmos track is great, the visuals are great. Black Hawk Down, the classic Black Hawk Down artwork that we're used to. And like I said, I popped this in, I watched, you know, I skipped around, everything looks great, it sounds great. This is one I would say if you're a fan, maybe look for a Black Friday deal. I'm sure they're coming up, so check that one out. The next one I got, Scarface, had to have it. This is leaps and bounds above the Blu-ray that I have. I have a Blu-ray Steelbook of it. Not the red one, it's the comic book, the Real Heroes one, whatever. But this one is like head and shoulders above that transfer. This looks amazing. It's never looked better. It sounds great. Everything to perfection. So this is well worth the upgrade. And you have basic artwork on the front. And this next one is a great movie. I just thought the 4K transfer, it was okay. There was nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't that much of an uptick from the Blu-ray. And in parts, I felt like I wanted it to be a little bit brighter. It was a little on the dark side, but it is Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington in American Gangster. And like I said, if you have the Blu-ray, I don't know that I would necessarily upgrade to the 4K. I mean, maybe you can see it somewhere, like if they're playing it in a store or if a friend has it. I wish I could show it, but copyright, I can't. It's just that it just feels like it needed to be tweaked just a little bit, and like I said, it's not that much of an uptick from the Blu-ray. So American Gangster, kind of on the fence about it. And this next one, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I thought the 4K looked really good, the Blu-ray looked good, and I didn't think this was bad. I thought it definitely played to a younger audience, which was fine, so it wasn't really scary at all, but I have not read the books. I knew nothing about it. I went in totally blind. I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was horrible. It was kind of exactly what I expected it to be. So if you're a fan of the books, you know, and you want to see the movie, it's kind of appropriate for most people. Like I said, it's not real scary, but it was decent. I didn't hate it. You know, I know some people really, really didn't like it, and some people really some people really did like it. I was kind of in the middle. And this next one is a classic. It's the 80th anniversary of The Wizard of Oz. And there you have a really cool front cover. I did pop this in to check it out. Just know when you're getting it, you are going to have the black bars on either side. They didn't stretch it out to make it a full screen or a widescreen presentation. So it looks okay. It's, you know, but it's The Wizard of Oz. It's a classic. I had to add it to my collection. But when you get those older titles, you kind of have to expect that that's the aspect ratio that you're probably going to get. So that's my thoughts on the transfer of The Wizard of Oz. It, like I said, doesn't look bad. It's in that letterbox style, if you will. And the last 4K I picked up is Wonder Woman Bloodlines. Have to stick with my DC animated, so that is the newest one to the collection. It's kind of an origin story of Wonder Woman, which I'm really interested to see that because I haven't seen that yet, and I'm really interested to see what they do with the origins of Wonder Woman. So that's the last one I picked up. I'm going to grab my standard Blu-rays and Scream Factories, and we're going to wrap this one up. Okay, my friends, I'm back, and I have my standard Blu-rays and some Scream Factory titles, and we're going to call it a day. And this first one, I just watched over the last weekend, and it totally blew me away. It's called The Farewell, and it is based on an actual lie. There you go. There's a shot of the cast or family, and this is based on true events of the Lulu Wang, her family. They are a Chinese family. Her grandmother is still living in China when this takes place. Her character they call Billy in the movie. Billy and her family are living in New York in the United States, and her cousin, her father's brother and his family, her cousins, are living in Japan. When they find out that their grandmother has been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, they decide to all go back to China and stage this fake wedding as an opportunity to kind of see her and say goodbye. Everyone in the family knows except the grandmother. She has no idea that she's sick. They told her, the hospital, and her sister who lives with her told her that, you know, she has a cold and she's getting better and she just has this cough from the cold. Because what we find out is in China, in certain cultures, China in particular, the family believes that it is the job of the family when the elders are diagnosed with being terminally ill, it's the job of the family members to carry the emotional burden and not tell the elders that they're sick, because they should have the opportunity to just enjoy their life without worrying about this illness that they have. So they all have to not tell the grandmother, and they have to not cry and not let her know and not act like anything's wrong and just focus on this fake wedding. And let me tell you, this is a beautifully written, beautifully directed, wonderfully acted movie. It is amazing from beginning to end. I can see this getting a lot of buzz at Oscar time and awards time. It is just fantastic from beginning to end. What she pulled off is amazing. And there is a special feature that I watched that was wonderful. It's called Nothing But the Truth, Confessions of a Writer-Director. And they actually talked to Lulu, and they talked to her about her writing process, how she got her family to kind of agree to, you know, go along with her doing this movie, writing the story. And she really tells it from her perspective. And wow, what an amazing woman, amazing accomplishment, and an amazing, amazing movie. I can't recommend it enough. So definitely, definitely put The Farewell on your watch list. And this next one's a good one too. It stars Shia LaBeouf, Dakota Johnson, and introduces Zach Gottsagen, the Peanut Butter Falcon. And Zach is a young man with Down syndrome who I believe is in his 20s. It seems like he's in his 20s. I don't think they ever tell us. But anyway, he is a ward of the state. I'm not really sure why, because they didn't tell us that either. And they don't really have any place to put him, so they put him in a nursing home. He's living in a nursing home, and he's very upset about it because he keeps telling the other residents, he's like, you are old, I am young, I don't belong here, and he is labeled a flight risk because he keeps trying to escape. Finally, very early on in the movie, he escapes, he runs away, he doesn't know where he's going, and he ends up bumping into Shia LaBeouf's character, Tyler. They don't know each other, they just kind of end up together. I'll let you watch it and see what happens. But they kind of go on this road trip, if you will, but it's on land and on a raft in the water, and they decide to hang together until they get where they're going, and I'm not going to tell you that either. But this is a very sweet, very authentic feeling movie, and it really pulls at your heartstrings. It'll make you feel a lot of different emotions, and there are parts of it that are very, very funny. And the young man, Zach, who plays the boy with Down syndrome, he is wonderful. He's an amazing actor, and I hope we see more from him. I hope they find more roles for him to do, because he really did a fantastic job in this. I've heard people say that this is a one-watch movie. They liked it, but it was a one-watch movie. I could see where maybe that was true. My issues with it, if I have any, would be I would have liked to have seen more details given, because some of it feels like they kind of gloss over certain things. Like, we don't get a lot of backstory on our characters. We don't get a lot of fleshing out of our characters. So I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that. And especially, my biggest issue really, though, was the ending. The runtime's only about an hour and a half, and I would have liked to have seen them spend more time on the ending, because the ending, to me, definitely felt rushed, it felt incomplete, and it felt like it was really kind of unrealistic. So those would be my critiques on this one. A little more backstory, a little more detail, a little more depth to the story itself, and just a more solid and realistic ending, and then you have a home run. But it's a really sweet, really good movie. Definitely worth your time to watch it. If you're not sure if you would watch it more than once, you know, give it a rent first. But yeah, either way, definitely see it, because we need more movies, more feel-good movies out there like this. Now this next one, this one's a polarizing one. I hear people, just like his first movie, they either love it or they hate it. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground on it. It's the latest one from Ari Aster, who was the director of Hereditary, Midsummer. Are we calling it Midsummer? Midsummer? What are we calling it? Midsummer, I'll call it. And basically what it is, I'll just read from the back. After a family tragedy, a young American couple joins some friends at a midsummer festival in a Swedish village. What begins as a carefree summer holiday takes a sinister turn when the insular villagers invite their guests to partake in festivities that grow increasingly unnerving and viscerally disturbing. And I can tell you that this is a beautifully shot film, and I wouldn't call it so much a horror. I know they call it a horror movie. It was more, to me, it had more thriller elements, other than the last 15 minutes, which is straight up horror. I would say most of it is a thriller. It's also beautifully shot, and it's shot in the daytime. Most of this movie, I would say 95% of this movie takes place in the daytime, which is really different for this genre. Because usually, you know, it's going to be in the dark, and you have the jump scares, and what's around the next corner, and noises in the woods. This is all out in the open daylight, and what they do is they give them these drinks that are clearly hallucinogenic, so then the movie gets this really trippy feel to it, and now I know if I did drugs, which I don't, and I never have, but if I did do hallucinogenic drugs, I now know how it would feel. But I thought that this was really well written. I really enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the cinematography, like I said, absolutely beautiful. And I liked that it was something different. So, I don't know. Tell me if you've seen it. Tell me your thoughts in the comments. I thought it was really well done, though. Like I said, very polarizing. People either love it or they hate it. But I would give it a look. If you're not sure, like I always say, rent it. This next one, unless you're a diehard Conjuring fan like myself, is definitely a rental. Annabelle Comes Home. Look at her. There she is. Out of the box. And basically, this takes place in the Warren house. The Warrens decide to go out for the night, and they leave their young daughter home with a babysitter who invites a friend over. And you know, if you know The Conjuring, you know that they keep all the artifacts from their locations that they go to. They keep them in a locked room, and everything's locked up, and no one's to go in there. Of course, one of the girls goes in and lets Annabelle out, and horrible things start to happen. But it's not that horrible. It's not really that much. It's not really scary or anything. It's kind of some jump scares here and there. It is rated R. It says for horror, violence, and terror. I don't know. This one I would say is definitely a rental. I am a diehard Conjuring fan, so I had to have it in my collection, but I don't know that I'm really going to watch it again anytime soon. It wasn't really anything to write home about. Annabelle Comes Home. Don't write home about it, though. This next one stars Jesse Eisenberg. It is called The Art of Self-Defense. And basically what it is Jesse Eisenberg plays a young man by the name of Casey who is constantly beat up. He's mugged on the street. He's picked on at work. Very emasculated. And he decides, as a way to recover from his recent mugging, to join a karate dojo. He's walking in the street and he sees karate. And then he becomes obsessed with the karate, so much to the point that he lets the rest of his life, including his job, kind of fall to the wayside. He's very committed to his job in the beginning of the movie, and then as he gets more involved in this karate and this dojo, he kind of just lets everything else, you know, like I said, fall to the wayside, even to the point where he's about to lose his job, which is just weird. It's a dark comedy. But it's a very strange movie, but in a weird way, it's good and you just can't not watch. That's all I'm going to say about it. So you take this guy who's really wimpy, really nerdy, has all these problems, and now he's trying to become this badass karate guy, and he's so determined to do it, and he's so involved with this dojo, and you find out that the dojo is really, really bizarre, and that's all I'm going to tell you. But I would say The Art of Self-Defense, give it a look. Maybe give it a rent first because it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. But yeah, pretty much overall, I really enjoyed everything about this. Way more than I thought I was going to because I kind of just watched the trailer and went in blind. But it was good. I really I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. And this next one, I have not seen this in quite a while. But I picked it up because Blue Underground did a new release of it. It is an anthology film from George Romero and Dario Argento, Two Evil Eyes. And it has a really cool lenticular slip, as you can see. And this is pretty much still, looks like it's still available everywhere. And has nice cover art. And let's see. Yeah, it has three discs. Yeah. It has the soundtrack, it has the 2019 restoration, and it has disc 2 of extra features. So you have 3 discs, and then you have, it comes with a booklet about the movie. And I can't wait to revisit this one and give you guys a more in-depth review on it because, like I said, it's been a while, but definitely one that I want to take a look at. And I believe it's a new restoration. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like a new restoration. So, Two Evil Eyes. Definitely check that one out. And now I'm going to get into the Scream Factories. The first one that I picked up is the new Omen Collection box set. There's the artwork on the front, and then on the back. Very nice. And they each come in their own, each movie comes in its own case. You have the original Omen, then you have Damien Omen 2, The Final Conflict, Omen the Awakening, and then you have the Omen, the remake. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's a 5-disc set. Still available on Scream Factory, so if you're a fan of the Omen, check that one out. The next one is Stacy Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis in Road Games. And if you haven't seen this one, this is from the, I think it's from the 1970s, I want to say. Oh no, 80s. From the 80s. Jamie Lee Curtis, very young in this one, but think Joyride before Joyride, but it's not quite as scary as Joyride. But it has the new artwork. And then I believe it shows the, yeah, we still have the old artwork, which I actually really do like the old artwork. And I think this was the cover for the Umbrella Entertainment release. But it takes place in Australia. It's an Australian horror movie, and he's a truck driver. Stacy Keach plays a truck driver, and Jamie Lee Curtis is a hitchhiker, and there's a guy running around and killing people, so he picks up Jamie Lee Curtis. Stacy Keach picks up Jamie Lee Curtis to kind of protect her from this green van that's killing people. But, you know, I like this. It didn't really hold up for me as much as I thought it was going to. The transfer looks amazing. The special features, it has a ton of special features. If you want to pause it, you can see all the special features on the back there. But, yeah, the story itself didn't really hold up for me as much as I thought it was going to. It had been a long time since I've seen it, but, you know, I'm happy to add it to the collection. It's a classic. And then this one just came yesterday. It is Frank Langella and Lawrence Oliver in a Dracula. I don't know that I've ever seen this particular Dracula, but I'm always up for a good Dracula movie. And the next one is this a Hammer release? Maybe, oh no, this is Christopher Lee in The Devil Rides Out. They've been releasing a lot of these older horror movies. This one is based on Edgar Allan Poe's classic Tale of the Living Dead. It stars Vincent Price and Christopher Lee in the oblong box. And I love Vincent Price and I love Christopher Lee, so I can't wait to sit down and give this one a look. And this is from, the next two are from Shout Select. Shout Select. It's number 93 and this one's number 95. It stars Heath Ledger, Jeffrey Rush, and Abby Cornish in Candy. And I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but do they say the year that it was from? It's from 2006, and basically what it is Heath Ledger is a young man who he meets this girl, and they're very into heroin, so it's about addiction and heroin use and all that, and I haven't seen this in a long time, but I do remember liking it. I'm a big fan of Heath Ledger, so I can't wait to sit down and give this another look. This one just came this week as well. I think maybe it came 2 days ago. Really, really good movie from what I remember, and I can't wait to see if it holds. I hope it holds up. I'm sure it will. He's fantastic. What a great actor. And this last title it's just a guilty pleasure of mine, and it's something when I want to turn my brain off and I just want to laugh, I put these movies on. Eddie Murphy in the Nutty Professor collection. It is a silly, silly, fun collection. It's the Nutty Professor and the Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps. Now, it's a Blu-ray disc and a DVD, But we have both films on the Blu-ray and both films on the DVD. I kind of wish they had just done 2 Blu-ray releases, but they didn't, and that's okay. And they have some special features. Nutty Professor 2, it's the uncensored director's cut, which is probably a hoot. And they have different new interviews, deleted scenes, conversations with Peter Segal and producer Brian Grazer, making of, and originals Sherman Klump makeup test. So if you're a fan of the Klumps and Eddie Murphy, you can get the Nutty Professor and the Klumps in one collection. So, those are my pickups for the last month or month and a half, and I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it for you. There's some fun titles out there right now, so definitely get your list going, because there's going to be some great deals for Black Friday. If I get anything specific, I'll definitely let you guys know. But I want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, leave me some comments, recommendations, suggestions, just say hello if you want. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you know when I upload the next video, which will probably be in a day or two. And I'm going to try and space them out about 2 days. So I will see you again real soon. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend. And for now, that's a wrap.